morning, everyone. Today is Thursday, March the 14th, 2024. Grace and peace to everybody. Grace and peace. Y'all know I really don't talk too much about political stuff, but sometimes I think it's kind of fitting, especially when it comes to this particular everything that's going on here in Georgia with the Fannie Williams case and all of that. So I was kind of reading through this article about what's happening with Donald Trump and him being charged with the January 6th stuff. And apparently there's a judge who has dropped some charges against him. So we're going to be reading that, but I'm going to go ahead and give everyone some time to come in. And as y'all come in, go ahead and hit that like button. And as you guys are coming in, let's go ahead and talk some political stuff. All right. Okay, let's do what we gotta do. Grace and peace, Lakeisha, and grace and peace, Miss Cherry. All right. Hold on. I forgot to put myself back in. I forgot to put myself back in. Put myself back in the shot. And also, let me see some. I'm supposed to be streaming from, here we go. Here we go. There we go. All right. Go ahead and give myself a hand clap for that. Yeah, I am streaming on Rumble right now. Grace and peace to anybody who was watching on Rumble. Grace and peace. Y'all go ahead and hit that like button no matter where y'all at. And I'm also streaming on Instagram as well. All right. Grace and peace inside the lines. Grace and peace. Let me go ahead and take a look at this real quick. Just in case I need to shout out anybody who may be watching from Instagram. All right. We got a couple of people watching from Instagram. How you guys doing? We got my cousin Donovan watching, and then we also got Psalm 13 watching. All right, grace and peace to you guys. All right, let's get into this. So, like I said earlier, as I started out this live stream, apparently there are some charges that are being dropped against Trump in the Georgia election interference case. All right, so we're going to take a look at this, see what's going on. Grace and peace, Kate Wayne Love too, who was watching on Instagram. Grace and peace to you as well. All right. So, according to the ChristianPost.com, let's go ahead and get into this particular article. It says a judge in Georgia has dropped 3 of the 13 counts leveled against the former president and presumptive Republican nominee Donald Trump, as well as 3 other charges against his allies over their alleged efforts to overturn the results of the 2020 election in Georgia. Now, and I forgot to do this. I'm already slipping. I do have a poll in the live chat, only on YouTube. All right, only on YouTube. And I'm asking a question. Should the January 6th charges be dropped against Donald Trump? So far, 67% of you say yes, he's innocent. 33% of you says no, he's guilty. 0% of you says you're not sure. And 0% of you said that you do not care. All right. But yes, as y'all come in, once again, hit that like button. Now let's go ahead and get back to this particular article. All right. Fulton County Superior Court Judge Scott McAfee issued an order Wednesday regarding 6 of the 41 counts against Trump and his allies. McAfee dropped count 5, which alleged that Trump solicited the Speaker of the Georgia House Representatives to violate his oath of office on December 7th, 2020 via, quote, requesting or importuning him to call a special session to unlawfully appoint presidential electors, end quote. He also dropped count 28, which alleged that Trump and his former chief of staff, Mark Meadows, tried to get the Georgia Secretary of State to violate his oath of office on January 2nd, 2021, via, quote, requesting or importuning him to unlawfully influence the certified election returns, end quote. How many of you guys agree with the with some of these charges being dropped? Because it seems like that, and like I said, the only reason why I'm bringing this up is because of all of the stuff that's happening with Fannie Williams. And do y'all think that what's happening with her in her case has some type of an effect on what is happening now with the Trump case? Because, I mean, even Donald Trump said that when she started to kind of try to bring up these indictments against him, that she had some problems of her own. And I think that a lot of people said that at the time, as she was bringing up these particular trumped up charges, no pun intended, that these charges were not going to stick. And I mean, I think that a lot of people just said in general that they didn't believe that Donald Trump was going to, that these charges were going to stick on him anyway, because they were already just, bogus charges anyway. So, but I mean, even myself, I personally don't think that Donald Trump tried to quote unquote interfere with any of the elections, the fair and free elections. I mean, Joe Biden won fair and square according to the results. He got 83 million votes. He got more votes than Barack Obama. Oh. I don't know how that happened. I don't know how he got more votes than Barack Obama, but he did. All right, he did. There was, some people said that there was some abnormalities. I'm not going to speak on that here, but we just going to keep reading. Let's just keep reading. McAfee also dropped count 38, which alleges that Trump tried to get the Georgia Secretary of State to violate his oath of office September 17, 2021 by asking, quote, him to unlawfully decertify the election, end quote. I didn't know that somebody can bring up charges on you. I don't know. I'm not really heavy into politics like that. So, I mean, let me just keep it moving. Additionally, McAfee dropped one count of multiple defendants trying to get the members of the Georgia Senate to violate their oaths of office on December 3rd, 2020 by having them unlawfully appoint presidential electors. The judge dropped one count of Ray Smith III and Rudy Giuliani soliciting Georgia House Representatives members to violate their oaths of office on December 10th, 2020 by trying to get them to unlawfully appoint presidential electors. He also dismissed one count alleging defendants solicited, quote, members of the Georgia Senate to violate their oaths of office on December the 30th, 2020 by requesting or importuning them to unlawfully appoint presidential electors, end quote. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think that this is the same thing that happened with what's her name? Hillary Clinton. I think when Hillary Clinton lost, I think that she kind of went about it the same way, basically saying that allegedly that the presidential election was rigged and, she actually won, et cetera, et cetera. So, but for some reason, there was some charges that was not brought up against her. I mean, I'm just putting it out there. Just putting it out there, because I don't want to imply that our government has some type of corruption. Bruh. Don't want to put that out there. Don't want to put that out there, but I'm just saying. All right, let's continue to read. Quote, as written, these 6 counts contain all the essential elements of crimes, but failed to allege sufficient detail regarding the nature of their commission, i.e., the underlying felony solicited, quote, end quote, McAfee wrote, adding that the, quote, entire indictment is not dismissed, end quote. All right, so let's go back to this poll. All right, so far 75% of you guys on YouTube say that he's guilty, and 25% of you says that no, he is guilty. All right, let's continue. Trump was charged 13 counts. I'm sorry, last August, Trump and several of his allies were indicted and accused of efforts to unlawfully overturn the election of the 2020 Georgia election, in which the state went for Democrat Joe Biden. I'm going to ask a question. Y'all let me know, no matter what platform that you're watching from. YouTube, Rumble, Instagram, Twitter, or which is now X. You guys let me know. Do you believe that the election results were accurate? All right. So type who you think should have won the election in 2020, whether it's Biden or whether it was Trump. All right. Who do you think really won that election? All right. Let's continue. Trump was charged with 13 counts, which included violating Georgia's Racketeering Act. Ooh, that's some strong words right there. That RICO. Ooh, RICO case. Conspiring to commit forgery in the first degree, conspiring to impersonate a public officer, conspiring to file false documents, and soliciting a public officer to violate their oath. Oh man. Now here's the thing, and the reason why this makes it so interesting is because we see how fast these charges were put up against Donald Trump, right? And now you got Fonnie Williams, who was kind of like the lead prosecuting attorney or something like that, who brought up these charges against Donald Trump, and now she's facing, if I'm not mistaken, I think that she's facing some of these similar charges, right? So this is why this makes it very interesting. Watching on Instagram, my cousin Donovan says that Biden won the election. He said that Donald Trump didn't win that election. But Inside the Lines here on YouTube says that it was Team Orange. All right, it's Team Orange. So people kind of split down the middle on who won. That's one thing that's just great about this country, America. You know, we can all have diversity in thought, and we're all diverse on politics. All right, let's continue. Around the same time, a grand jury in Washington, D.C. released an indictment against Trump over his alleged ties to the January 6, 2021 U.S. Capitol riot, accusing him of conspiracy to defraud the United States, conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding, obstruction and an attempt to obstruct an official proceeding, and for conspiracy against rights. I don't know. I just think that some of these things are, again, no pun intended. I believe that these are some trumped up charges. You know, now I'm not saying that I'm Team Trump, Team MAGA, or, you know, Team Biden or anything like that. I just want to kind of point out the state of our particular government, you know, and this is why I always try to remind Christians that when it comes to politics, that we got to keep a level head in this. All right. We got to keep our heads level, and we got to be able to listen to all of the evidence and facts, things that are being brought out. So therefore, as this election cycle continues to happen, because, you know, like I said in one of my previous live streams, we're going to have a new president, or we're going to have Joe Biden, you know, as president again. Bruh. You know, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see which way the Lord wills, but Donald Trump could be the president again, or Joe Biden could be the president again. And that's why I think that, it's good for us to kind of pay attention to some of the stuff that's happening, not to be so ingrained with politics, but to kind of, be attentive of what's going on and seeing how things are being handled within our own government. Because I believe that, as Christians, we really need to see how the government is treating some of these other political candidates. Because if they're willing to do stuff like this, and I mean, I don't know, we got to see how are they going to treat Christians? If they really decided they want to start, dropping a hammer down on us, what is that going to look like? But before I deflect too much, let's go ahead and let's continue. For his part, Trump and his legal team have denied any wrongdoing and have accused the various courts of engaging in a politically driven witch hunt against the former president and likely 2024 Republican presidential nominee. Uh-oh. So he said that he might be the presidential nominee in 2024. And that is the end of this particular article. It was pretty short. I said it once, and I'm going to say it again. When it comes to our government, we don't put all of our faith and trust in the government, and we don't put all of our faith and trust in men. All right? We only put our faith and trust in our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. That's the only one who is going to allow, who's actually going to be able to save us. God is allowing things to happen, whether, like Joe Biden becoming president or Donald Trump becoming president or whatever. The Lord is in control. The Lord has allowed Joe Biden to become president. Joe Biden is not president because the Lord was just taking a nap, during the time of the election. And he woke up just like a lot of us and was surprised that Joe Biden was president. That's not what happened. So whatever happens politically, as Christians, we have to remember that we still have to continue to stand firm on the faith, no matter which way it goes. And here's the thing. When it comes to us, as Christians, we operate a lot different from those in a secular society. So that's why even when it comes to, let's just say whoever's in office, as Christians, we got to be able to move and navigate through whatever climate that we're in at the moment. I mean, that's the way that we've always done it. Throughout history, we've always had to navigate and move throughout different political climates in different countries, different continents, and things of that nature. Eugene says, Alton, which party fits more of a Christian worldview? Now, I mean, that's a pretty good question. I'm going to go ahead and hit one of these again. Gotta hit that again. But I don't know. Now, if I gotta be honest, I'm gonna be completely honest. I would say that Republicans lean more towards a Christian. They lean more towards Christian values. And at certain times, at certain times of political seasons, they tend to lean more towards Christian values. And to be honest, a lot of times, I think that Republicans lean more towards Christian values because they have a Christian base, and of course they have to pander to their Christian base, So therefore things like abortion, basic human rights, stuff like that, Republicans are more outspoken on those particular things, Christian Judeo values and stuff like that. I believe that they speak more to those things, while Democrats will speak more towards whatever they think the direction that the culture is moving towards, like transgenderism, LGBTQ, abortion, things of that nature. So Republicans will get on the podium and they will go out there and they'll promote that stuff. A lot of that stuff which is anti-Christian, right? So therefore, Republicans and this and again, this is where I kind of give Republicans their flowers on this. It's because like they will stand up boldly and they will talk about the Bible and talk about Jesus, and do kind of give some people some hope that there is still a Christian presence in this particular nation. But at the same time, depending on whoever the Republican candidate is, they can do a little pandering as well. So just want to throw that out there as well. They can pander a little bit and they can kind of be bent towards some towards some secular ideologies, some anti-Christian ideologies, because when the pressure is put on Republicans, they do kind of bend towards, LGBTQ and, abortion and some of the things that us Christians are just like, what, hey, listen, we can't accept that. Now, when it comes to those particular issues, like for instance, Donald Trump, I think that he's looking into something like a 15-week abortion ban. So he would be willing to allow abortions to happen to up to like 15 weeks, where you had somebody like Ron DeSantis who was running for president. He said that he would chop it off around like 5 or 6 weeks. You see what I'm saying? So now a lot of Christians are kind of like, well, dang, Trump, you at first, you helped to overturn Roe versus Wade, and to his credit, Donald Trump never really advocated for a complete abortion ban. But he did say that Roe versus Wade really it really needed to be overturned, and it needed to be left up to the states. So, but this is another reason why I say that when it comes to politics, us as Christians, like we really have to be discerning. And we know that this country, this nation, this world is not run by, we're not under the rulership of the Lord, right? We're under the rulership of Satan, just being honest. So a lot of people who are operating in the spirit of Satan are going to promote satanic ideologies. That things are satanic to its core. So no matter whether it's Republican or Democrat, it's almost like you have to vote for the lesser of two evils, which is, I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is at this point. But at the same time, we have to be able to find opportunities no matter what political climate that we're under. This is the day Grace of Peace says, my husband is in the state legislature. We are Christians first. There are only a handful of us in the GOP. Yeah, it is. And I used to know people who were like pretty wrapped up in politics here locally in Georgia on the Republican side. And they kind of had to stop being around some of these people because some people would say, hey, I'm a Christian and, I support Judeo-Christian values, but you talk to them behind closed doors, they're voting for bills and stuff that actually goes against Christian morals and values. You see what I'm saying? But this is where I tell Christians to not get dismayed. Don't go to the polls sweating and, with your hands trembling and shaking because you don't know who to vote for. But I believe that this is the time that we pray. Number one, we need to pray for our leaders. Continue to pray for our leaders. You know what I'm saying? They're human beings just like us. I mean, and again, some of us, like myself, I grew up reprobate. I grew up, hating God myself, but, the Lord was able to change my heart and to put my path, my life on a different trajectory. You know what I'm saying? So if the Lord has done it for me, he could do it for anyone else, and he could do it for our leaders. And you never know what God got in store. We may look at a certain presidential candidate. We may look at somebody like Joe Biden getting into office, And we think that, oh, World War III is going to happen and Joe Biden is incompetent and all of these things. And yeah, he does a lot of things that I disagree with. But I got to be honest with you. I think that him being in office has been necessary for this particular country because, me personally, I think that for a while we have got too comfortable to where we're starting to, allow certain things to happen in this country because we think that, oh, well, that'll never happen to us. We'll never fall up under the guise of socialism, and the borders will never be a problem. But now we see that even the people who voted for Joe Biden, who were just staunch Democrats, are kind of rethinking, like, okay, well, hey, maybe we need to have some type of control at the border. That's a hot topic coming up now. Having illegals coming into various neighborhoods, and they're getting money and funding and housing and all of that stuff just by showing up at the border when you got Americans that are here on American soil that has been struggling for years. Certain nonprofits and people are just like, hey, listen, can you just give us like, 10, $15 million to kind of help springboard some of the stuff that we're trying to do within the community? And they're just like, nope, we don't have that 10, 15 million. But then the illegals come over at the border and then they're, oh yeah. Here's $52 million for you guys. You see what I'm saying? So these are the things that we have to, put in perspective. But, like I said, even with Joe Biden being in office, I think that a lot of people's eyes have been opened. So which is a good thing. And, God will use anyone and he'll use any situation to garner the attention on those who he's trying to get their attention. You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna go ahead and read a couple more comments and I'm gonna get up out of here. His servant says, this is the day agreed. No compromise on abortion. God said life begins at conception. Yeah, exactly. So therefore, when you do have a presidential nominee or a government official who gets up in front of a podium, especially live on TV in front of, millions, hundreds of millions, because you got to remember, here in America, man, anybody, just like my cousin who's watching live on Instagram, he's ex-military. He's been to other countries. Some of those people in other countries are more in tune with what's going on here politically than the average American. So they watch our politics very closely. And like I said, they watch our politics sometimes a lot closer than we do here on our own soil. But when you do have somebody who does get up in front of the podium, in front of millions, not just here in this country, but around the world, and they advocate for stuff like, transgenderism, abortion. I'm talking about kids' transgenderism, to where they're saying that if your child decides that they want to become the opposite or not even if they decide, if they hint at it, they just hint that they are, quote unquote trans, whatever they consider trans nowadays. They're saying that if you don't go through with those particular surgeries, that the government now has the right to come in and take your children. You see what I'm saying? So I think that what's happening nowadays is that people are starting to see some of these things, especially those who are Christian, and they're saying that I don't know if I can ride with people who are advocating for kids being transgender and just full on demand abortion, LGBTQ stuff, just flooding the border, all of that stuff. So some of these people are just like, I mean, I'm a Christian, but I'm not willing to go that far. And that's why I think that a lot of Christians kind of gravitate more towards the Republican side. But, like I said, again, Republicans have their own issues as well. If you guys, wherever you guys are watching, whether it's Rumble, X, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, you guys go ahead and hit that like button, About to get ready to get up out of here. Alton, Eugene said, Alton, did you see Dr. Phil on the Breakfast Club talking about the border? No, I didn't, but I did hear that that particular thing was that was kind of like a hot button issue. No, wait, hold on. Was it? Oh, so he did go to the Breakfast Club, but I think he was on The View. I think that's what everybody was talking about, The View. So what's this thing with the Breakfast Club? Is that something recent? Did he just do that within the past couple of days? Because I think that he was kind of blowing some fuses that I heard when he went on when he went on The View. But yeah, he did. Actually, I did catch some snippets of him on The View talking about the border and all of that stuff. So yeah, he kind of had some of those ladies at The View up in a tizzy. He had some of those middle-aged women going through some hot flashes. So yeah, this is the day says, amen. Republicans are already caving on foundational truths like life and marriage. It will be a matter of time before they go full left. And the thing is too, I done seen the shift both ways. With politics. But there was a time to where it was kind of tough deciding between the Republicans and the Democrats. Like when I was growing up, when you look at around like the Clinton era, um, there was a lot of people who were just like, hey, I'm a Republican, but I kind of ride with Bill Clinton on some of his values and policies and stuff like that. And you can find some talking points from the Clintons back in the '90s, which sound like Republican talking points now. So, but it's just interesting to see how our politics are being conducted here in this day and age. All right, but listen, let me get ready to read this poll before we get up out of here. And I'm asking you guys in the live chat, only on YouTube, should the January 6th charges be dropped against Trump? So far, 64% of you say yes, 36% of you say no, 0% of you say not true, and 0% of you say that you do not care. I was going to say something else before I got ready to get up out of here. Something else I was going to say. May have forgot. That's just that old man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see all of these grays. That old man mind be slipping. I was just about to say something else. Oh, no, this is what I was going to ask you guys before I got ready to get up out of here. Do any of you guys, and I should have asked this earlier, do y'all think that the Fannie Williams case has anything to do with some of these charges being dropped on Donald Trump? And will we see more charges being dropped on Donald Trump as the Fannie Williams case continues and as Donald Trump continue his political campaign? All right. So, but thank you guys for showing up to the live stream. This is just a quick, short news segment that I just wanted to bring out. And if I see anything else, I'll hop back on and give another, news take. But with that, listen, y'all know the spiel. As always, like this video, rate, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. So whenever I get ready to go live, you guys will be the first ones here to see my live streams, and you guys will be the first ones to see my videos as soon as I drop them. All right, with that, I'll see you guys next time, and you guys have a blessed day.